Hey, how's everybody doing?
I was trying to ask you a question privately before it
Before,
came on, and
and here we are.
yeah, I was supposed to tag someone in this interview, um, and now I don't remember her name.
Oh, okay. Well, they know how to find us. I just ran from gymnastic.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the gymnastic is great. Sometimes gymnastic is frustrating, but it's always good.
Yes,
It's always good.
yes, it is. Happy Holy Monday, guys! I hope everyone had a great Palm Sunday.
Yeah, and you've been getting some question about that.
Yeah. So yesterday,
Yeah.
um, I posted a selfie of myself because I had
Right.
folded a couple of palms
Mhm.
into a cross.
Mhm.
And you'll be surprised how many people said, "Hey, how do you do that?"
Mhm.
So I'm going to do a little impromptu palm folding for the folks out there that would like to know how to fold a palm into a cross. And by no means am I an expert. Do you want to try it too?
Uh, no,
Are you sure?
You do that.
Okay, so here I have this palm, and it's good that I actually have a black shirt on. So this one is a little bit dried out already. It's drying because I got the palm bush on bush. You guys know what I'm talking about.
No.
I got it on Saturday, so if you can imagine, it's starting to get a little bit dry. So we're gonna take it. It's quite long. You guys can see about how long it is. So you're gonna fold the top down.
Pull the top down.
Fold.
Mhm.
Can you just repeat whatever
Yes,
I said?
I'm
Okay.
going to.
Okay, I'm gonna turn it this way. So I folded it down, right?
Mhm.
And so they normally you should fold it down like the length of your hand. It's a little bit longer.
Okay.
I went a little bit longer. You guys can see how far down I went. So you fold it down. I'm going to take it a little bit down a little bit further. Then here comes the fun part. Then you fold it. And so when you fold it at the top, you want it to be like the length of your thumb.
Okay.
So you fold it across, right? Yeah, the length of your thumb. Then you fold it to the back.
Okay.
So around the back. And when you do that, you see how it starts to make the cross right there, right? Then you do the same thing. You fold it back to the front. I'm trying to do this backwards in my head. Okay, so you folded it to the front.
It's like putting a tie.
It's like tying a tie. So in the front, you want to fold it up again. I hope you guys can see this.
I could see.
You see how I just folded it? Of course you can see it. And then it goes around the back.
Mm-hmm.
This is hard to do when it's not around the back. So you cross it around the back. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you fold it underneath.
Right.
So straight across in the front. See that? I don't know if you guys can.
I could see it.
Anyway,
I'll. See it too.
So once you fold it across the bottom,
mm-hmm.
right? You fold it to the back, and then fold it down. And then what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to tuck it in down into the front. See that?
Yeah.
It's literally like a tie.
I know a guy from Nantucket.
Like a tie. And there you have.
Oh, there you go.
There you have your cross. So it's a little bit harder to do because, like I said, it's a little dry now. But you guys,
that is pretty good. Well, let me
thank you, Seth. Thank you, Seth is giving me a round of applause.
Well, these guys, I met them at the Brickman, as you know, and the musician, of course, and you know that I'm a classic musician, way back in the closet.
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 I thought you said classic.
No.
Okay.
But I like to play around with instrument and piano and guitar and whatever, and bass. And I met them. And I tell you, back then I was a teenager. And I remember that I was going back to New York to see my mom. That's before I move up here.
Okay, so you were just.
And I asked them, you drop me up in the Bronx when you're going home, and they did.
That is so funny.
Yeah, they dropped me off in Jerome Avenue.
Jerome Avenue,
which is still where my mother is today.
You know what's funny is you can't do that now. You can't just ask random people that you just met, say, "Hey, can you take me back to the city because you may not make it there."
Oh yeah, I'll make it.
That's so funny. But it's such a simpler time. I love that story though.
So I was talking to Joe, and it would have been great if today was, and I'm going to bring it up when they come on.
Mm-hmm.
If back then was like today, where everybody had a cell phone and made some videos and things like that.
Okay.
Like I saw some people taking videos of me when I was performing, and I saw people taking videos of them, but I never actually saw the video. It would have been nice if we had cell phone back there.
I wonder what were they using?
They were using 8mm.
8mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
8mm. But
that was a few years ago.
I was going to say more, but I think I'm going to bring them on because they have a specific sound when they were performing together, and you will know why I like them so much.
Okay.
When you hear, I'm only going to play a little bit of the Hey Bruce.
Okay. Sorry.
That's okay.
I completely distracted him.
That's okay. I'm still there. I'm only going to play a little bit because I want to.
Okay. I'm automatically going to know why you like that.
You probably will.
Okay.
Okay. So it's just a little taste.
A little clip. A little bit.
Taste. Of the music.
Let's do it.
And I put some pictures to it because he won't let me do it without a video. Okay. And when the video finish, which is short.
Yeah.
And we will have the guys on.
Our guests are going to be here.
Okay.
They will be live.
Got up this morning, felt so down.
Hey guys.
That's a goof.
Hey, what's up?
Fantastic.
We're missing someone.
You're missing someone.
He just texted me.
Brian. Where's Brian?
He said
Brian looks like he's trying to come in now.
Yeah, he's trying.
Yeah.
Oh, good, great.
Yeah, this is actually the third device in the house I had to use to get
Oh,
on.
that's Brian. Let me.
You can't try the blender, Mark. It doesn't work.
Oh, there he is.
Hey guys.
Hey, Brian.
I don't
What's
recognize
going on?
anybody.
I recognize you guys because I've seen the photos on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously my wife never met you guys, but I met you a long time ago. I don't know how many years that was. But I know that
46 years.
36?
46.
46.
I'm not that old.
Yeah,
you were 3 years old, I think, Pete.
I was
very little. I was very little.
That means I was about 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, Tommy was 5. I remember Tommy, your son.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah,
Tommy.
You remember?
Wow. I remember Tommy, sure. You were showing the martial arts, and you guys used to do
right. You did the show.
The demonstrations at the pool.
Yeah.
That's right.
I remember that.
Right.
Come on, stand on my chest. Stand on my chest.
Yeah, that was part of the show. Part of the show was at the end we picked the heaviest guy, and then they stand on my chest while I pick somebody up with straight arms.
Wow.
But that the funny thing is that I was young and they used to trust me with the nunchucks to turn off the cigarette off their mouth.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
You know what? I got to say something. Hang on one second. You were talking to me before about, having video cameras and everything.
Yes.
I don't think we would remember this as well as we do if we had captured it on video, because your brain, if you're videotaping something, you don't really process it in real time. So I think that's kind of a good thing. Plus, we were all dorks and it was embarrassing. You wouldn't want to have video. I think that's a plus in this case.
Yeah. So let's go around the horn and let's have you guys introduce yourselves. Tell us what you do now, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing now.
Okay.
Right now.
You go, Brian.
I'm Brian Gotek. I played drums back in the old days. I still do. Well, I just started. I actually played for 5 minutes so I could say I got back to it. But I can't lie. I've been playing on and off for years. I played for about 5 years after. I think I was 24 as my last gig at New Year's Eve. And then career, and then family, and I just didn't play much. Became a cop, I retired from there. Then I became a nurse, and I'm still a nurse.
Okay,
about
good.
20 years. And then maybe another year or two, I'll be retiring. And find something else. I have to get back to drums. I'll have nothing. I don't know what I'll do with my time if I retire. I got to keep busy.
Yeah.
It's all good. And wife and 3 kids.
Awesome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Bye. Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
I'm Mark. I was the sax singer in the band. I stopped playing music for a while recently, and now actually we're going to be jamming in a couple of weeks. So I picked up my horn again for the first time in a couple of years and introduced my mouth to it again recently. So Brian, I hear you.
Were you and Brian playing together?
I was playing with Rob for a while, for a few years now. I stopped a couple of years ago, and for about 4 years, Rob and I were in a 5-6 piece band for a while. But I gave that up a few years ago and just sort of put the horn back in my. He's continued with that band with another sax player, singer. They stopped about maybe a year or so ago-ish.
COVID basically shut us down.
Yeah, and now
we had a whole line of gigs that got canceled.
Yeah, there you go. And we're all getting together to sort of do a jam in a couple of weeks. So I picked up my horn again, which it's out, and I started playing it a little bit, so that's nice. Really quickly, I was on Wall Street for many years as an accountant. Now I work at a bank, like a branch bank of a Santander bank. I'm looking to retire at the end of next year. I married my college sweetheart, married 32 years, Noah 40 years, have a 31-year-old son. 26-year-old daughter, all good, thank God.
That's awesome. Welcome to Tweed Talks, Mark.
Thank you so much. And Pete, I have to just say, it's really a trip seeing your face and it not being in the. It's really, really surreal. But excuse me, I'll stop talking.
How about you, Seth?
Hey, it's me. It's amazing to see everybody. It's like, wow, it's crazy. Still playing music. Living here in Oyster Bay, Long Island, around the corner from Billy Joel, and we jam all the time, me and him. No,
what? Oh.
Ba-dum-bum.
Actually, he lives on the point. We take a canoe and we go a kayak and we go around the point. We throw rocks at his helipad. That's what we really do. It's true. Still playing music, Never. I was married for a while, wasn't I? Yeah, I think I was.
Yeah.
I think you were.
I've been single for a lot of years, but I've been playing. Still playing. Still singing, writing, doing the whole thing. Joe and I get together every now and again.
We've played in like 5 or 6 states. We would just show up, and there you are, and here I am. Yeah.
All over the place, man. Awesome. Have guitars, we'll travel. That's kind of the way it goes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't have a band, but I bring my guitar with me when I go to the gymnastic competition.
Yeah.
Cool.
Robert?
I'm Rob, and I play trumpet and keyboards in the band back in the day, and been doing music pretty much straight through, along with building my financial practice business. I've been with New York Life for 32 years. I was with Prudential for a little while, Wall Street for about 5 years, but I never gave up music. Always played. Did about 2,000 plus weddings probably in the course of the time. Actually retired from the wedding business in September of 2015 because it wasn't fun anymore. Then Mark and I had the band. It was originally called Jameson Brothers Band because our guitarist would start the rehearsal with a shot of Jameson. So we had no name for the band, and of course we called it the Jameson Brothers. But then, of course, that shifted to Extreme Measures, and again that band stayed together until COVID hit, and that was it. Divorced 7 years with a wonderful woman now, Jody. She's a nurse, Brian. She's a nurse. She's a ER nurse, and surgical nurse. So she's great, you know. Basically, this is a total trip, and it's great seeing you, Pete. It's
great to see you.
It's a blast from the past, my friend.
Yeah, we got to get together up here one day.
Absolutely, sure.
Maybe we'll do the reunion and go to a new hotel.
That'd be great.
So Joe,
I'm a Scorpio, alcoholic. No, anyway.
Welcome back.
It works.
Yeah, Joe was here before on the show, and I see Patty. I don't know if you remember her, you guys.
Oh, hi, Patty. She can only listen for a while. Anyway, real quick with me, I dropped out of high school after I got back from the
froze.
Who froze? You can hear me, right?
Yes. Yeah. You're good.
It froze from on my computer.
You had your time there, Barbara. I dropped out of high school. I got back from Brickman. I was so depressed about the whole thing. It was like, I can't go back to high school after playing music up at the Brickman, because we started writing songs and, doing everything that I wanted to do. So I left. I started, my sister was in TV and film, so I worked on a couple TV and film things. Then I moved to California, stayed there for about 38 years. Had a nice career, did a lot of touring and recording with a lot of great people. And California just got crazy. So now I live in the Midwest. I moved to Madison, Wisconsin about 5 years ago with my wife and my kids. My wife, Christine, is from here. We've been together about 28 years.
Wow.
Something like that. Got two boys, Kevin and Jordan, 19 and almost 24. And I still play, I record, I write, I do all that stuff. I still do everything I always did, a little bit slower than it was before, but I still do it. And I teach guitar and bass and ukulele to all the young people of Madison, Wisconsin. And that's about it. Fully acquitted of all charges, by the way.
Oh gosh.
Now I know that you've been still doing music, because I sent you a message one time for Greg Lee.
Right.
Greg Lee, to make some music for his podcast. Greg Lee, I met him. He's a martial artist, and he was in the movie.
Fellow actor, yeah.
Yeah, he was in the movie Made in Chinatown.
Oh, wow.
So he wanted to have his own podcast, so he needed a music guy.
Thank you.
And he did use it, right?
He did, yeah. He hired me. I wrote a bunch of stuff. I wrote an intro and an exit for his podcast. Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome. He's a really nice guy. You think he's Bruce Lee?
What is we have a comment. Rochelle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes, hi Rochelle. How are you?
Went to school with you all and listened to you at the Brickman.
Yeah.
Hi, Rochelle. That's hysterical.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I feel a little bit. That what was your influence in making your music?
Chicago.
Chicago, absolutely.
Yeah.
Chicago Doobie Brothers.
I mean this sincerely, Seth Rosenberg.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna.
Actually, it was Seth and Joe.
Yeah.
And then sort of they sort of somehow got me and Rob to become twins of some kind from different parents, and sort of taught us everything we sort of knew at the time. That was
pretty much,
how I learned
in
about
Gary's
it.
garage.
My father, oddly enough, was a musician and played during World War II in the USO show and toured around the whole Pacific Rim playing sax and clarinet, and was in a Latin band. But he taught me how to play the clarinet, but I, played in school bands and stuff like that. But I, oddly enough, delivered newspapers to Seth's house, and somehow or another we hooked up through music. And it was Seth and Joe that sort of taught me everything at the time, and then meeting Rob. And then Brian came in a little bit after we had just started, because we originally had a different drummer, Gary Buckman, rest his soul, who sort of we could do 3 hours just on him, but it was Joe and Seth that sort of introduced me to music.
Yeah, I remember the first time in your basement, Mark.
Yeah.
It was good. Yeah. And it was I think I played in stage band in school, but it wasn't quite the same thing. It was good with horns. It was unique for people that age to be playing like that. Good band.
Yeah.
We started out. Seth and I actually started out. It was a weird band. It was Seth and I, guitar and bass, and we both sang out of necessity. And then we had a drummer named Kevin Wandy, who
I know Kevin.
Owned a drum set. And we had a trombone player named Bill Eisel, and Bill was a wonderful guy. Bill was actually an original member of Hollywood for quite a while.
Yeah.
But that was the band. We had bass, drums, guitar, and trombone, and we actually went out and played rock and roll. We had, pardon my language, we had huge balls. We went out there with a trombone player. People were looking at us like, what are you doing? And then we realized we needed the other horn players, so we got the paper boy and the other guy, the scientist.
It's funny. I have to give kudos to Seth because we always worked. Seth always turned around and we had a gig because of Seth. Seth would book us at different dances and bars and clubs. And we were, 16, 17. We were underage. We had phony ID. I remember going into the city with Bill Eisel and you guys, and we went to this place in Times Square. And the guy was sitting behind, I don't know what the hell he was sitting behind, but he printed
I remember that.
New York license number on the blue and green paper. No photographs. He goes, "What's your first name?" I went, "Rob." He goes, "All right." And he made up a last name. And he goes, "What's your date of birth?" And I gave him a month and date. I goes, "Give him a different year. You're 18 now." And we were 16.
Yeah, I remember
it was $10.
Oh
it was great. But Seth, thank you, man. You got us all those gigs pretty much, I would say.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
That's funny because I guess a couple of yours that I met that were big fan of yours. That I met at Brickman, they were big fan, and they told me the same story. They said I was 15 when I was working there, but I lied about my age.
Oh my gosh!
I think we were like
no problem with them.
15 years old playing. I remember because drinking age was 18, so we were kids, and we had this great gig at this club called the Eiffel Tower.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah.
The Eiffel Tower. I remember that. That's the one when the cops raided it, right?
Yeah, because those angels were there. And
I'm sorry, I was afraid for my life that
funny.
night.
You thought you were going to die, yeah.
Yeah, we thought we were going to die. And actually, it turned out we weren't, but we thought we were,
Mm-hmm.
And then what was the name of that bar?
We left early, though, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we had an escort.
The police came in while we packed up.
Yes.
That's right. And if you remember, Brian, the guy with the eye patch threatened to run your drums over with his motorcycle.
I remember
that.
I just remember there was
all over your tom-toms.
There was a female bartender who wore like a fishnet top. You guys remember that? It was just in my head.
I remember I don't remember the top.
I remember. I didn't want to go.
I don't think it was the female, but go ahead. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. At this point, it doesn't matter.
She was ahead.
Nothing happened.
She was ahead of her time. Whatever.
She was
ahead of it. I get it.
So where did the name of the band come from?
Joe.
Chicago. We were listening to the album that came out. I think when we started the band was Chicago 6. I think they're up to Chicago
6, right?
612 now. Yeah, but there was a song on there called Hollywood, which ironically we never performed. We never actually did that song, but we thought that was a cool name, and actually Seth and I had matching Hollywood shirts. They were great. It was like the shirts you used to get in the mall at the, whatever the store was. And he had a blue one, I had a brown one. They had like a really cool design on them and said Hollywood. And I don't know about yours, but somebody stole mine out of the room in the Brickman. It must have been. Yeah, Brian and I roomed together. Remember that?
That's right.
That's right. We roomed together, and these other guys had so they were 3 of them in one room. He and I had sort of like a private room. But yeah, somebody stole my shirt. But that's where the name came from.
It wasn't
Chicago.
me. Good thing I don't have it, and I wouldn't wear it anyway now. Not tonight.
I've never trusted you after that.
These guys used to short sheet my bed.
Thanks, Dale.
Yeah, I think my brother's got a comment there. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so he converted an old cassette tape of Hollywood to MP3. I confess, sometimes I listen to it in the car. That is awesome.
Wow.
We had, like Joe said, we had big ones because we did album cuts from Chicago. I mean, we did Introduction off their first album, and that song has like 7 time changes and key changes, cycle of fifths. I mean, really intricate stuff. And we were 17, and we really killed it. We did.
Wow.
I think we did.
You guys definitely sounded good.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we did, and we did Lifesaver off of 7 and Mononucleosis, and we thought we were Chicago Junior.
Something we need to tell these guys. I don't know if you guys knew this, but we were the house band at 2001 Odyssey, where they filmed Saturday Night Fever.
Right.
Wow.
That's right.
We used to do Chicago songs with disco beats.
Yeah, that's right.
But we were the house band, and they got rid of us to film the movie. Remember that?
Right. In fact, the guy that owned it, I think he was like Turkish or something. His name was Charlie. And one week, because we were playing there, I think it was Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, or some crazy schedule. And he said, "Yeah, they're going to film a movie." And the next week or 2 weeks later, they put the floor down, the lighted floor for the film. And I think we did 1 or 2 gigs with the lighted floor, and then that was the end of it for us. Yeah. We might have been back at us. I don't remember, but I remember the owner saying that they were going to film a movie, and there you have it, Saturday Night Fever.
Wow.
That was the movie.
Cool. Yeah. And it's not as big. That club is not as big as it looks like in the film, and it's really not that big at all. It's pretty tiny. The dance floor is really not that big, but it was still very cool. Good memories.
Yeah, we got paid by door admission, and didn't like Kevin Wandy watch the door or something?
Yes, I think Kevin did watch the door, and Richie Schwartz.
Yeah,
the two of them,
both big guys. Yeah.
I have photographs from that gig.
Nice.
With the brown suits. Remember the brown suits?
Yeah.
We had the suits. I remember those suits. They were like, come in the back. We got some suits over here.
Yeah.
You guys like these suits, right?
East 16th Street, I think it was. Danny's Hideaway. That was it.
They had like a shack.
Fire hazard. I think it was a total fire hazard. We went in there, and it's like, hey, guys, don't worry about it. It's not that expensive.
How did you guys get well, you told us a little about how you got the band, but how did you get to go to the Brickman? Who was
Why'd you get that one, Seth? Who Seth got that?
Larry Strickler.
Yep.
Larry
Strickler.
Yeah, I knew the answer. I just wanted to ask.
Yeah, we were in high school, and I was a senior. I was, and Larry was like, "Oh, why don't you come play for the summer?" And so there we were.
We auditioned. Brian, you were already out of school, right?
Yeah, I got.
We did audition.
We began college. Yeah.
No, we auditioned. We played "Sympathy for the Devil" with. You remember that? Mm-hmm. We played the Rolling Stones song "Sympathy for the Devil" with the horn section and a bass solo.
It was one weekend. We went up for the whole weekend right before we got there. Like we had to go up there to audition. I think. Yeah. It was a good stage.
That was great.
That room was great. Seth, and in fact, the next year I went up with Seth and Kevin. I didn't stay though. I had to go back and I went to work at Manny's Music. But remember Pete, do you remember? Were you there the next year? 77?
Yeah.
You remember they put the band in a new room. It was a really small room.
It was in the lobby. They had the band in the lobby.
Yeah, it was terrible.
That little stage, that little 2-inch high stage in the lobby.
Yeah.
I remember going to see you, Seth.
No, then they put it. They had a brand new room. It was downstairs. It was.
I went just to see you guys. I wasn't working that year anymore, but I went to see you guys, and I remember they put you there in the lobby. That's where I did my fighting.
In the lobby. How long did you guys play at the Brickman? How many summers?
One summer.
I played 2.
76. Summer of 76. 10
one
weeks.
summer?
76. Then 77, you did the small.
Yeah.
No,
No, I didn't do
87, I played the small room. And then I wound up doing a lot. You know, I played a lot of
Wow.
the pictures. I played the Raleigh Mambo Night at the Raleigh. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It's great.
And then I told you the same thing with Johnny Ewan. Remember, I did that show with Johnny Ewan. And I didn't know Joel DiRuggiero, rest his soul. Joel was the drummer in the show band at the Brickman in '76 with Jeff Gann.
Right.
So Joel, now I got to say, I haven't smoked marijuana in about 40 years, honestly. But I go up there and Joel goes, "Hey, we got a comedian tonight. Let's get high." I'm like, "All right," you know, so we're smoking a ton of weed. And the comedian happened to be Johnny Ewan, who had a songbook like this. So my heart's going like this. Johnny comes out, he goes, "Here you go, guys." And we're rehearsing, and I'm like looking at the music, you know, like, what are all these black dots on this page? I was freaking out. Joel and this guy just passed away too, Doug Debon, who was the musical director, piano player. That they got me through it. Oh my God. But the thing that saved me was Johnny Ewan actually sang "Make Me Smile" by Chicago. Wow. So it was a saving grace. Like, oh, thank you. And I knew what I was doing, you know, and it's like he didn't inspire me, but that's never assume the comedian is not a singer.
Oh, well, you know, he started out as a singer. So he was doing a whole thing singing, and then he would do a couple of jokes, and then it changed. Then it became more jokes and less singing. Okay. Yeah, but he started out as a singer, yeah.
You know, it's funny. I remember many a night we would hang out in the nightclub, if you remember,
yes,
with that little stage. And a lot of times the acts would hang out with us, and it was staff members. We were there, some guys from the show band. You were there, Pete. Frank, what was Frank, a busboy or a waiter or something? The guy down the hall in the frat house, Frank, I think, isn't it? Mark. Frank?
Yeah, he's a bartender, I think.
Mark, we can't hear you.
You're muted.
The audio went out.
We can't hear you, Mark.
You're a 1920 silent film right now.
Well, maybe he's
there he goes. He's back. He's gone. He's there. He's not there.
You're muted.
You're muted. You
there
muted yourself.
You have hand
Where's the sound?
The sound guy is not watching today.
Mark, maybe it's good. Oh yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
Time machine. You need a time machine.
Okay, Joe. You know.
Yeah, time machine.
Yeah.
H.G. Wells can hook you up.
The way you guys are talking and sharing all these memories is like you played together for years and years and years.
No,
I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah,
they played the one summer at the Brickman, and
they should make a movie about that summer. It was really fantastic. It was the summer of '70s.
Yeah. I don't know if they should put my part in there though.
Hey Pete, I remember you knocking on the door because we would be up all night, and basically what we would do is we would rehearse all afternoon, and then we would play at night, and then we would stay up all night and party, and then sleep until God knows what time. And sometimes we would get a phone call on that payphone in the hallway, and you would knock on the door and go, and we go, "Who is it?" And you go, "Pete, what do you want?" "Phone." 2 words, Pete, phone. We're like, all right, somebody get up and get the phone. Who is it? But some funny stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that happen there. And you know, somebody did come into my room one time and stole my money. And Ben Posner was afraid because I was looking for the guy.
He's
going to kill him.
Not a good idea.
You know, and I have my nunchucks with me too. Where is this guy? He ended up
from a guy with nunchucks that can use them.
Oh yeah, you know, there's nunchucks all over the house here.
Yeah, you gotta be
teaching my wife how to, use it. So no, go ahead.
Now,
No, go ahead.
now,
No,
now Brian, I was going to say, Brian has a great story about being chased by a skunk.
I don't remember the skunk. I don't remember that. I remember the electric heater was like on fire, maybe like it was smoldering, and I remember
You
you
don't remember
coming
the
in the
skunk?
room. No, I just remember I remember the electric heater burning, and somebody came in the room, and there was smoke in the room, and I was sleeping, and it was no big deal. We just shut it off. But now I just had the fire department make sure it's not smoldering in the wall, and just went to sleep. I don't remember skunks.
Who was with?
It was
Who
the
was
skunk that was under the building.
Yeah,
We were
Grandma
walking
Grandpa.
back.
That was the nickname.
Yeah, we were walking back to the room, and we saw you in the distance like a cartoon, running like Forrest Gump.
I was running from a skunk.
Yeah, and we were like, "What's going on?" You going skunk, and you ran into the thing and shut the door on us. Thank you. Yeah.
I don't remember. I wouldn't leave anyone behind. I don't remember doing that.
No skunk left behind.
No skunk left behind. But
no band member left behind.
I had a stain on my arm, a red stain on my arm, because I used to sneak into the nightclub and get the jar of maraschino cherries.
Yeah.
Oh, I was in charge of that.
That's where they all went. I would eat them. Like
Someone had the keys to the
munchies.
luncheonette, and we would go in there and make tuna salad sandwiches at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't remember. Was that you? It was
I
great.
remember that. I don't quite remember the name of that guy, but I know that when they had the Passover, I think I corrupted a couple of the kids because they weren't supposed to eat certain things.
Yeah.
No bread.
And we did tuna melt on the matzo ball. On the matzo. So I used to have tuna melt, and they had the key for the
Oh my gosh.
over there where the coffee shop.
Yeah, the coffee shop. Yeah.
Yeah. So the guys, they liked me, so they will go and make it for me. And one of the guys was the cantor's son, Scott Porter. I don't know if you remember.
Scott. Yeah. Who was what's his dad's name? Do you remember?
I know his last name is Porter.
Porter. Well, he was the cantor.
Yeah, he was the cantor, and I started teaching him gymnastics back then.
Yeah.
So he has some. I think we're missing.
Mark, I think is he just texted me. 1 second.
The Sunday paper's coming out. He's got to get ready.
Oh.
No, he lost the signal, so he said, "Say goodbye to everybody."
Oh no!
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we lost Mark on that one, but let me tell him to try to come back on.
Yeah.
All right, now we can really talk. Come on, he's gone, so let's really.
Oh, give us the juicy stuff.
So
trying to work it out. He's trying to work it out.
Okay.
Okay.
What was I gonna? Oh, I threw me off.
He was talking about the tuna melts in the cafeteria.
The tuna melts, yeah. The cafeteria, the coffee shop. That's what I meant. The coffee shop was where we went in the middle of the night. Not
the guy's name was Scott.
Yeah.
Scott.
Do you remember Ann Lowell? Anybody remember Ann?
No, who was that?
Ann Lowell was a waitress there. She's on Facebook. She's still friends with me. I think she dated Joel for a long time.
Yeah, I remember seeing her down in Florida when I went to visit Joel a couple of years
ago.
Yeah,
she's wonderful. I'm trying to think of anybody else I talked to from.
What was the guy's name that used to do the high diving? Was that Sandy? Was that his name? Sandy? The dude that
it was.
He did the high dive demonstrations.
There were a couple of people. One of them was Smokey.
Smokey, that's his name. Smokey.
Yeah, he was in Hawaiian 5-0.
Oh my
God.
God.
And Dr. Bob.
I was gonna say Bob Goldman.
Robert Goldman.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Yeah. But Rob, you used to sing that song.
I'm sorry?
You used to sing that song, to swing your partner high and low. You'd always call
me.
No.
That woman woke us up every morning. And they were coming over those speakers, those little like loud speakers, a miniature version of what the Blues Brothers had on top of the car. And she would start singing this hoedown song and wake us up. It was the ungodly hour of 11 a.m. But you see, for musician, 11 a.m. is like 5 a.m. to regular
Right.
people,
Oh my goodness.
So we got woken up, and it was like, "Oh, shut up!" And we would put the pillows over our heads. And then Joe, you remember when we met her son, and he said,
"Oh, the puppy kid,"
and we went dunk. We held him under the pool for a minute. Bubbles.
Yeah.
We had passive aggressive, not quite.
But who was the accordion player who used to play?
That was Royal.
No. The guy who was in the lobby, I believe. No, he just played accordion and sang Hot Chocolate. He sang I Believe in Miracles.
I remember Royal and Gino and the drummer.
No, that was in the lounge later at night. This guy was in the lobby.
Do you know who it was?
The Royal Trio. I know the guy you're talking about. He always used to tell the same joke. I forgot what the joke was.
You forgot it.
Yeah.
How about the kitchen for the help? They always had mac and cheese in this giant vat. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
The kitchen in the back. The one when Dan's ate the macaroni cheese and Joe Merman, may he rest in peace, was sitting there going, "Dan, so you're going to eat that now?" And he was flicking his cigarette ashes, in this mound of I was sitting there, I couldn't believe it. He actually had his mac and cheese covered in ashes, and he goes, "Yeah, Jeff. I mean, yeah, Joe, I'm going to eat it." And he ate the mac and cheese, right? I was like, "Oh my God!" I was horrified, but it burned in my memory. Very funny, very funny.
Did everybody do an impression of Joe?
What?
Did everyone do an impression of Joe Merman?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think
Joe had a cigar. They had a big band that would come every Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, Wednesdays when everybody was off.
All the musicians from all the hotels would get together at the Brickman, and they all had charts from, a lot of them were in big bands. They were, and so they play these crazy charts. It'd be like a 22-piece orchestra, and I'd be playing guitar, reading over Joe Merman's shoulder. And he would, with his cigar, "Kid, there's no fucking way you can play all these chords."
A lot of people don't know that Joe. Well, you probably know Joe Merman was the musical director for Joey Bishop.
No,
did not know that.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people didn't know that, but I remember when they were playing baseball, and you watched the staff, and Joe Merman said, "Nope, you're not playing. I'm not playing baseball. My fingers, because he's a piano player."
Right.
So but I remember Joe. Joe played. That's how we became friends, because Dominican, I had to play baseball.
I think we played on that baseball field once or twice during our tenure there. You remember the baseball field on our side of the highway, right behind the frat house? Yeah. I mean, maybe one or two softball or baseball games, but most of the time we were either rehearsing or gigging or sleeping.
Those songs that we sent you were recorded at the Brickman. The earlier ones were recorded in the lounge, in the comedy lounge, the little lounge where Royal and Gino played. Jeff Gans brought he had his tape recorders, reel-to-reel tape.
He had a Tascam 4-track, if I remember, right? Tascam 4-track?
Yeah. And he recorded it.
And had that ovation forward, and then Rob ate this yodel.
I rolled. Oh, that's great. Remember, we wanted to get high, so he goes, "You can't smoke in here." I said, "Well, if we can't smoke, we'll eat it." So I took it. I unrolled a yodel and sprinkled the weed in the yodel, rolled up the yodel, ate the yodel, and then we recorded.
He invented edibles.
So that's
He invented it.
You were ahead of time, ahead of your time.
Way ahead.
But we wrote songs up there. We really became like professional musicians up at the Brickman. And I'm not kidding. I was very after we dropped you off in the Bronx. I decided I'm not going back to Sheepshead Bay and being a student anymore. I can't do it. I just that summer changed everything for me.
Right, and then you ended up on What's Happening.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of guest appearances on What's Happening with rerun.
You can see me on 3 episodes of What's Happening. Yeah.
I was in the audience once.
Huh?
I was in the audience.
Yeah. I think it was Stacy Brooks. that told me that you were in California, Joe.
Yeah. No, it was great for a long time. It was wonderful to live there. You know, I'd say maybe the last like 10 or 15 years, it got ridiculous, you know, with traffic and cost of living and all that. And by the time even though I was working a lot and I was thankful to be working, it's like by the time you got to where you were going, you know, you wanted to hang yourself because it's like, you say, and then you realize it's like, now I got to do this backwards and I got to go home. So you get on the freeway at 3 o'clock in the morning, all the lanes are closed. And by the time you get home, it's just, there's no joy in Mudville, so to speak. So, I just, you know, it became like when I was playing music that I was kind of wishing I was working in a shoe store kind of a thing, you know. It would have been a little bit of an easier life, you know. But anyway, it was, it was cool. I moved out. When I moved out, Seth followed me, came out like the same year. And you sold cars and you broke somebody's waterbed.
I did indeed. I electrocuted when the waterbed broke. I was a Chrysler Plymouth salesman in Santa Monica, California.
Wow.
Think about that.
And when did you go back upstate with Eric? Didn't you do that thing, Snowflake, that duo thing?
Yeah, we wound up back in Lake George, up there for a bunch of years. That was a blast. Oh,
you played Manhattan too, though, didn't you? You played at my uncle's place, the Dugout, didn't you?
Oh yeah, we were at the Dugout like every Monday.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
For about a year, we're at they paid us in French fries.
Okay. French fries are good,
beer, but we didn't drink beer. We just smoked weed. So.
You know, I'm going to throw this out there. I know that Mark is not here, but you guys should do another song. Not necessarily today.
Right.
You don't even have to be. Well, you don't even have to be in the same place because my wife.
I'm sure you know that.
We do have the technology.
Yeah. Listen. I have a Roland 8-track studio, mini studio. So, yeah.
Wow.
No, you're right. That's a great idea.
Second that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Joe and I we work with we did recordings for Kenny Satira, Peter Satira's brother, about 11 years ago. 12 years ago, the Chicago Experience, and we recorded it bi-coastally. So they did the
Johnny.
Hey John, look who it is. He's in Philly right now.
Our fellow Sheepshead Bay alumnus.
That's right. And we did the horn section. We did our thing in Staten Island in the studio, the garage studio, and Joe and Kenny and Chris Rollis, who was the drummer for Kenny Loggins, did the rhythm tracks in LA. And then once the tracks, we flew the tracks back, and didn't that movie soundtrack dude mix the tracks, Joe? Some guy that did like movie soundtracks. Did a great job. He really did.
Yeah. No, he did.
But Peter even said sounds real close, scary close, right?
Peter thought it was Kenny singing to the record tracks. He did. Yeah. So it was pretty convincing. But no, we do that, and then I do that a lot. I know Seth does too. I worked with a lot of different people that are still in LA, and like your friend, I send tracks back and forth, and it's fun. It's a great way to do. Brian, you gotta if you don't start playing drums, get yourself an electric set, like a set of electric drums.
Yeah.
Like right now, go.
I'm on it.
Do it now.
Amazon.
Don't say it too loud.
Oh, you got a maraca.
Uh-oh.
But he's right.
Actually, used it to make a recording recently. It sounds great.
Yep.
Yeah, I liked your sound back then. I could imagine what it would be now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
we do have the technology.
On, that's for sure.
Yeah, my wife did a song with some guy.
Some guy.
No. She did a song.
Local musician.
Jan Turan
is the name of the band. Yeah.
And she did a song, and it was a whole bunch of people participating on this.
Yeah.
And she did it right from my bedroom.
The bedroom. Yep.
She did her part in the bedroom. Yeah, it came out pretty good. I was really surprised. So when you do this song.
Not if, when.
When you do this song, 10% for me.
Yeah. A finder's fee.
What's the song? 10% of nothing is nothing. How's that go? I don't think people are making money in the music industry anymore, unless you're an existing act and you're selling a lot of tickets. Because I think mechanical royalties. Seth, agree or disagree on this one? Who's buying records? Nobody. And maybe old vinyl right now, but it's not like
it's not about records. Actually, I mean, as we're sitting here talking, we really should, get our stuff out there, get a Spotify channel, iTunes, and everything. Get the Hollywood thing going.
Oh, absolutely. I would like to record some of those tunes. I would do it. Absolutely. Why not?
Just put all the old stuff. Just get it out there. Get a nice page. Pay CD Baby $29.95 and
there you go.
There you go.
It's funny. I digitized some of the tracks and I sent them to Joe over the weekend. And listening to them, some of them were playing in my head today as I was doing work. I'm like, wow, those songs are kind of catchy. I was pretty impressed. We were 17, really?
Crazy.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was saying. I said, wow, they were teenagers back then. Look how good they sound.
Yeah.
So imagine now with all the experience that you have, I seen Joe playing that, slapping that bass, What we should have done is teach Will Smith how to slap a bass instead of.
Right. Keep Will Smith's name out of your mouth.
Right. Giant thumb. Give him a giant thumb.
Hey, do you see his bass? Look at his bass in the back. He's got this really cool Beatle bass. Show me your bass.
Oh, that's really nice. I love that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Look at it.
Oh, he's got a Hofner.
Got a nice Hofner.
It's not a Hofner. Like a vintage Japanese. Look at the headstock. It's great.
Oh, nice.
What is the name? What is the name?
Like the MPEGs.
What's the name?
Sterling.
Sterling?
Yeah.
Sterling.
And
Sterling. Okay.
Joe's frozen.
Yeah. That's really all.
Yeah.
And my wife got me a Taylor guitar.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Nice sound to it.
What did you get her? Did you get her anything?
What did I get her? I do everything she wants.
Nothing.
She gets everything she wants. You know what? She got a ukulele.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. I could forget.
Hold on. Wait a second. Ukulele Joe.
Ukulele.
Ukulele.
Got up this morning. There you go.
Oh yeah.
I turned to ukulele because I used to play one. I used to play
the violin.
Violin, tough instrument. That's a tough
That's a
instrument.
nice solo ukulele. I like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Very nice. Very
Beautiful.
pretty. I'm throwing mine away.
The sound didn't work on that one, so they sent us a new one.
Oh, the pickup.
Yeah.
Listen, fellas, we really appreciate you coming on tonight.
This
We
was a
want to
blast.
hear.
This was a lot of fun.
I constantly listen to Spotify, so I want to know when that Hollywood channel for Spotify is up and running.
We're gonna make it happen.
Yes, make it happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
We need
We'll
to do.
meet at
Thanks for
Rob's house.
What was that, Brian?
Brian's
We'll
gonna do a
meet at
drum
Rob's
solo.
house and a drum solo. Okay. At Rob's house.
Come to
your
my house.
backyard.
Yeah.
We're doing your backyard with all the cats.
Cats, little deer. I have deer in my yard. Are you kidding me?
No, your mom's house.
Oh, my mom's house. Yeah. My
That's what
mom,
he
God
means.
bless her, she'll be 101 on the 18th.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Whoa. That is
101.
God
awesome.
bless.
Wow.
That's
And
all
we should
right.
definitely go to her backyard and play.
What was that?
We should go to her backyard and play.
She'd love it. She'd be like, come on, I'll make you pizza. Remember she used to make pizzas for us?
You got it. I know you got to go, but when we would rehearse in Rob's living room on Avenue U, it would be like in the movies, like in the mafia movies. We'd be any time of day or night, and his mother would be serving lasagna. We'd come home from a gig, and it'd be like, "Hey, here's a wheel of cheese the size of your head," and it's like,
It's funny. The first time I saw the movie Goodfellas, and I saw the scene where they go to Joe Pesci's mother's house, and she comes out. My mom used to paint, oil paintings. She can't do it anymore, but she used to paint, do artwork, and cook. So when I saw that scene, I was like, wait a minute, were they videotaping my house? What's going on?
Exactly the same. It was exactly the same.
It's like, does Tommy tell you about my paintings? It was funny.
And then don't forget Brian's house. We used to rehearse and Brian lived in.
That's right.
Oh,
that's right.
Yeah.
The big
That's right.
house. That was such a great house.
I got to tell you, Brian, because your dad had that movie theater on the 3rd floor.
Yeah.
That was the inspiration. In my other house, I built a movie theater in my.
Yeah. I remember you sent me a link or pictures of something. It was written up.
I was featured in
magazine,
the December 2007 version of Home Theater Magazine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was it's pretty interesting. Yeah, that
you
was
were the
not
inspiration.
common. That wasn't common in those days. Those were real theater seats as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's right. And the speakers. Oh man, what a
I don't know how we got all our stuff. We got all our stuff up to the 3rd floor. Originally, we practiced up there.
Yep.
Then we started practicing on the 1st floor. But that was some hike with all the equipment.
That's
That
right.
was up there. You had the drum set up in that room.
Oh my gosh! Bringing a drum set upstairs.
I have a whole set of pictures from the downstairs room that we rehearsed in, and Billy was still playing with us at the time.
Yeah.
And I remember your mom used to sit in that hallway with tea. She would sit.
Yeah. Everyone remembers her and tea. And the phone. Don't forget the phone.
That's right. She had the phone and the tea.
That was her headquarters right there. And
when we would play at Seth's house, you had what was the cola, right? Cola, and your brothers, and in between rehearsing songs, we like roughhouse with your brothers. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was good.
That was crazy times.
Like
but
a lot of fun.
The Brickman definitely molded us into a real band. That's without a doubt. That 10-week run, because all we do is play.
Yeah. It was such a pleasure having you guys on.
Thank you.
Please keep us posted as to when that is up and running, so we can promote
Absolutely.
and buy some music.
Yeah.
I'm glad he suggested that. We really have to do that. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
I'm down.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you
Have a good night, everybody.
On Tweed Talks.
Take care.
Be well. Take care.
Have a good night.
Nice to see you all.
Take care. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Take care all.
Love it.
Wow.
That was pretty awesome. My
That was
face
a lot of
hurts
fun.
from smiling.
I knew that you would, because they're just funny guys. We didn't even get so much, because like I said, musicians are funny.
John says this band was so tight. Ooh, capital letters.
Yeah.
Awesome seeing y'all. I'm looking forward to hearing new music, and just the clip that you played at the top of the show.
And actually, they could
awesome.
do even those songs that they did. They could redo that.
Just imagine the quality of the sound now.
Now, yeah.
With all the technology.
And I remember all of them from back then.
That sounds like good time.
I was trying to ask Seth if he did comedy, because I think one time he was trying comedy. But
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Wait, okay, so people.
No, Dale commented. What's Dale saying? Thanks for putting this
Brian,
on.
brother.
It was great.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, next show that we're having, I can't talk about it yet, but we will keep you throughout the week. We're going to announce who's going to be on.
And actually, anyone that is on, that is in the city, tomorrow we're going to be in the city because we're going to be watching The Gate. We had Brent on.
We had the directors and the writers.
Yes, the writer and director on of The Gate. It is playing at, or showing, playing at John Jay College.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. So we're going to be taking in a show tomorrow in
right.
In NYC.
We probably bring the camera too as well.
Yeah. John says he loves the bass behind you. We like to joke around and call that the dinosaur.
Yeah, that bass being involved. I had that bass almost as long as back in the Brickman. It was just shortly after that. Yes, I had it for a long time.
Crazy.
Nice decoration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But you know what's funny, that today I practice my guitar more than I did before.
Mm-hmm. And you almost put everything away. Almost. I did not come in with steam coming out of my head.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, it's just one electric guitar that's out. I can put that away.
It's like they said, I came back and I started practicing because, that way I could say I got back into
that way
guitar.
You can say you're a guitarist.
Well,
that's
so
funny.
People, thank you for joining us, and that was awesome show.
My face hurts from smiling and laughing so much.
Yeah, it was great to see and hear them, guys, and I'm glad we planted a seed, because I would love to hear that music.
We plant the seeds.
And everybody that told me they weren't going to get married, we planted the seed and they're not married.
Listen, we make things happen.
Okay, so remember how to do that. If you forgot, just go back and watch us.
Just go back and rewatch the video.
Yeah, and as always, love, peace, and harmony.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night.